Hey, this is James, fitness and sports instructor with PSP Kingston. We have another installment of our Workout of the Day series here. So, quick reminder, if during this session or any of the previous sessions you think you might pick up an injury, just make sure you get it checked out with a medical professional. Make sure it's nothing too serious. And if you are a CAF member, just make sure you fill out ACF 98. So getting into today's workout of the day, it's another workout in our bodyweight series. Today's is going to be a little bit different, and we're going to work on something a little bit more challenging. So this is a very challenging session, so keep that in mind. So today's session is going to be a power variation series. So we're going to work on some power, some ballistic variations of two movements, our squat and push-up pattern. So the workout is going to break down. We're going to have 3 rounds in total. So on the first round, we're going to start off with that ballistic power variation. We're going to do a jumping squat, a squat jump. You're going to do 5 sets of 5 repetitions with a quick 30-second rest in between. So it's a little bit of a short rest period, a little bit of incomplete recovery, just to kind of challenge things a little bit. And after you've hit that 5th set, you're going to take another break, roughly 1 minute, and then you're going to go into a longer set of 50 reps of your air squat. So that's our first little squat series. After a little bit of a break, you're gonna hit that second piece. We're just gonna do some upper body pulling just to balance out our powdering a little bit. So pull up or chin up for 5 reps, or a substitute for a single arm row for 5 reps per side. Then we're gonna move into our third piece, again going back to our ballistic power variation. And we're gonna be doing a jump push-up or a ballistic push-up. We're gonna do 5 sets of 3 reps of this variation, again with that short 30-second rest between those 5 sets, just to create a little bit of recovery, but it's incomplete, so it's still challenging. And then after that, you finish that 5th set, a little bit of a break, 1 minute, and then after that 1 minute rest, you're gonna do a set of push-ups for 30 total reps. And then to finish off, that's 1, 2, 3, our 4th piece. We're gonna hit that upper body pulling again just before we go back to that first piece again. Same thing before, pull-ups or chin-ups for 5 reps, or a single arm row for 5 reps per side. So key piece of this workout today is a little bit of a demonstration of those ballistic series and to get a better understanding of what we're looking for. So the squat jump is essentially just the air squat, but done in a ballistic, powerful manner that you push off the ground, trying to create as much height as you possibly can. So we're just gonna do a quick demo of that one, just from a bit of an angle. So same thing as a regular air squat. You want feet, shoulder, or hip width apart. Find the position that works for you best for air squatting. And then from this position here, we're gonna go prisoner style, squatting down. And again, with that squat power variation, pushing up through the feet as hard as you can to create as much distance as you can off the ground. So that's the marker of the quality of the power that you're able to achieve, is how much height you're able to create with that jump while still keeping good movement quality. And after performing the squat jump, then we move into the standard air squat. So again, the movement patterns are the same for both movements. The only difference is the squat jump having that ballistic power aspect that requires you to push harder and leave the ground on each one. So that's our quick demo there. A couple other things, just make sure you keep that spine nice, tall, and straight. Midline engaged. You're gonna have that from that prisoner hand behind the head position and pushing off that mid-foot position as well. So second demo, we'll do our ballistic power still. So we're gonna go to our push-up option. So again, it's a jumping push-ups, same idea as the jumping squats. So it looks like a standard push-up, but with a hand release. So again, standard push-up position, hands, feet on the ground, hands roughly around shoulder width. And then from that position, you're just, again, pushing as hard as you can through the hands to release the hands from the ground, get as much height as you can, releasing from the ground and catching on the way back down. And then standard push-up. So mechanics stay the same for both. So again, hands roughly shoulder width apart, midline nice and engaged, moving as one piece, trying to get nice range of motion on both, trying to go chest to ground, nice full extension at the top. With jump variation, you have to get that extension to leave the ground. So again, that power is quantified by the amount of height that you're able to achieve off the floor. And our last go, well actually, we'll just do a quick scaling option. So the scaling for this one, you might be able to do the standard version of the push-up, but you might need to scale the jump, or you might need to scale both. Now there is only so much scaling you do. The push-up variation with the ballistic is a little bit of an advanced exercise, so keep that in mind. But you can scale both to a hand elevated position and perform the same. So again, with the scaling, you might do one and then not the other. So you might scale to that hand elevated incline position to do the plyometric version, to do that ballistic variation where you push off, and then switch to a standard push-up on the ground if you're okay to be able to do that. So this one you can kind of mix and match the scaling, or you can do both with hand elevated, kind of find what works for you. Our last demo we'll go through is our upper body pulling. So we'll start off pull-up or chin-up demonstration. So just a quick demo on the pull-up there. So pull up hands forward, chin up, hands reversed, underhand grip. Either is fine, whatever works best with your setup. Just focus on driving those elbows back and down with both versions. Get as much upper back musculature. That's what we're trying to pull through that armpit area, rather than just trying to heave through the arm or pull your chin to the bar. It works a lot better, and you get a little bit more of a better movement pattern by focusing on that upper back piece. In terms of setup, again, we have a really nice setup here with the 4-poster and some wall mounted stuff. If you have that at home, that's great. If you don't, you might have a door frame mounted pull-up bar, that's great. If you don't have that, maybe you can figure out something to jig up on a children's playground set you have in the backyard. If you have some sort of I-beam or sturdy door frame in the basement. So you might have to kind of get creative. Key thing is just make sure that it's nice, solid, sturdy, before you jump on there and start banging out a whole bunch of reps. Make sure it's gonna be able to hold and take a little bit of abuse. So if you don't have that setup for your pull-up or chin-up station, or pull-ups or chin-ups are a little bit too challenging for you, either is fine. We've got our substitution, single arm row. So this is just a standard sandbag with a handle, very easy to make your own at home. If you have like a duffel bag or a backpack or something of that sort, just toss some sand in some bags. Bags of rice is another really good option, nice and clean, flour. So something that creates a little bit of extra weight and load that you can throw in, and something that's got a handle on it, so a duffel bag's a good option on a backpack. So with our single arm row, just take a split stance, leaning forward, pivot off that one knee, drop the chest down, keep the chest up though, spine nice and straight, arm extended, driving the elbow back, pulling that hand up towards the rib cage. And then you would switch over, and same thing on the other side. So you get single arm row, substitution if pull-ups or chin-ups are too challenging, or you just don't have that setup at home to be able to perform that exercise there. So that's all of our movement demos. Again, I'm not gonna go through, it's a complicated session, so if you wanna go through that session again, have a look below at the description section. It'll be a nice detailed breakdown. But again, the key thing on this one, power ballistic variation series, is on those power variations to really maximize that power output, focus on height off the ground on both of the movements. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know in the comments section. You can comment on here on YouTube or some of the other social media channels you can take a look at. We have PSP Kingston Facebook, PSP Kingston Instagram, and we have the PSP Kingston YouTube page where you're gonna find all of the past workout of the day series that you can browse through as well. Give us a like and a follow on those pages, and best of luck with today's workout.
PSP Kingston, the health and wellness provider for the military community.